ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे नित्यानंद नमस्तुभ्यं प्रेमानंदप्रदायिने कलौ कल्मषनाशाय जानवापतये नमः। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नामने गौरतुसे नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. So we welcome everyone for today's discussion on Srimad Bhagavad Gita. So we are discussing from chapter 2 and verse number 56. Dukkheshu anudvignamana sukkheshu vigatispраha vitaragabhaya krodha sthita dhira muniruchyate. One who is not disturbed in mind even amidst the threefold miseries are related when there is happiness, and who is free from attachment, fear, and anger is called a sage of a steady mind. Uh, so, person, so we are this, the context is going on. Lord Krishna is mentioning about the symptoms of a person who has realized the self, who is situated in transcendental consciousness. The symptom of such a person is being explained by Supreme Lord Krishna himself. So, always remember. So when we are discussing about this, so it may be, or it is for me at least, it may be for some of you that we are not yet achieved this stage. Most of us, we have not yet achieved this stage of self-realization, transcendental consciousness. But the symptoms are being mentioned by Krishna so that we can understand what exactly it is and we can make the goal that this is our goal. We have to reach to this stage of undeviated devotional service to Krishna. So, Dukheshu Anudvigna Manaha, one, one whose mind is undisturbed in dukkha or in miserable situation. So, although in our situation, it may so happen that we may get deviated when we get deviated or agitated in our mind and whenever this miserable situation come in our life, but knowing very well that our goal is to become situated in such transcendental consciousness that we do not get agitated in our mind. So knowing this, even the mind is agitated, the person, that means our own self, should not get agitated. And in other words, simple words, we can say, just like I always used to say that disturbances of mind should not disturb you. Disturbance should not disturb myself. Uh, so, although the perfect stage of self-realization or perfect stage of Krishna consciousness is that the disturbances, external disturbances, miserable situation doesn't disturb uh, the mind of the highly elevated devotee soul. But in our case, we are not yet achieved to that platform because still within our mind there are so many anarthas, material desires. So it must get disturbed, agitated because of the external situation. If dukkha, whether it is miserable situation dukha or whether sukha, the situation of happiness. Both are agitating or disturbing to the mind. So the mind definitely gets disturbed, but understanding very well that I doesn't have to, I do not belong to this mind, and I have nothing to do with this mind and body. I am completely aloof from this mind, Sukshma Sarir, subtle body, and this gross body, material body made up of earth, water, fire, air element. So although in certain situation, the gross body may get disturbed, the subtle body may get disturbed, but I should not get disturbed because my goal is to reach to the platform where I am completely undisturbed while executing Krishna consciousness activity. So at present, although the mind is getting disturbed, but let me not get disturbed. That means the meaning is that let me, even if the mind is disturbed, mind is agitated, mind is just wandering here and there, just like one devotee, Miss Purvi. She was asking, when I chant, my mind wanders here and there a lot. So what to do? So that will happen because we are not fully purified right now. We are not fully situated in transcendental consciousness that we can think, we can remember, we can hear, we can meditate upon Krishna's holy name without getting deviated, without getting distracted. That's not possible in our stage. But what we can do in our stage, we can just neglect these disturbances of mind. That is in our hand. That can be done. You can just neglect the disturbances of the mind. That means you do not get disturbed or agitated because of the disturbances of the mind. The meaning is that you do not stop your Krishna conscious activity. You just go on chanting Hare Krishna, serving Krishna in spite of all the disturbances taking place within the mind, understanding very well that these disturbances of mind will keep coming uh, until unless I achieve to the transcendental platform. Till that time, the disturbances must be there because you cannot avoid. So these disturbances will keep coming. But my duty is to keep going on and on and on. It's just like healthy person means what? Healthy person means that he has no symptom of any disease. He is free from headache, free from fever, free from acidity, free from all those. There are different symptoms. Uh, Yeah, today our doctors from Bhaktivedanta Hospital they came and gave very wonderful seminar on how to eat, what to eat, when to eat to all the brahmacharis, and they mentioned they gave so nice seminar, but I was just hearing and I was just wondered. This is like PhD. I cannot follow all these things. It's better to chant Hare Krishna. They're very difficult because they told so many things. Your time of sleep and duration of sleep, your eating habits, what should be eaten, what should not be eaten, how much gap should be there, all so many things. It's very difficult. This material body, in order to balance this material body, it is very difficult if you go through the advices of very strict and perfect dietitians. Yes. So it may be difficult, but one can do this. But anyway, so this doctor, she was telling this same point that there are almost more than 236 symptoms of diseases, more than 236 symptoms. And she just mentioned only 10 symptoms and asked everybody present that are any of the symptom present in you and raise your hand who is free from all these 10 symptoms. So nobody could raise the hand. That means one, two, or more than two symptoms uh, are present in everyone's body. That means everyone is just means vulnerable to get diseased. This is the condition. The symptoms. So, but a purely healthy person, he will not have any symptoms of the disease. But a person who is either at the verge of getting diseased or who is already affected by some kind of disease, he must have these symptoms. Uh, so, but the important point is, very nicely, you should listen very carefully. Important point is, although I'm experiencing the symptoms of the disease, so it's disturbing, but so healthy person means one who is situated in perfect stage of Krishna consciousness, sthita pragya. So he has no disturbances, no disturbing symptom in his body. That is healthy. But a person who is diseased, who is getting symptoms, but if he is patient, he is taking treatment, so he should not get disturbed by the symptoms of the diseases coming in the body because he is taking the medicines treatment. So he should be rest assured that if I complete the process of this treatment, course of the treatment, then definitely all the symptoms of the disease which are appearing within my body will also eventually get lost. Uh, so there is nothing to worry. Similarly, a devotee who is undergoing this sadhana bhakti stage, cleansing of the heart. So, so during this period, the symptoms of the disease of material existence may still come, may still appear within the mind. Mind gets disturbed time to time because of miserable situation. Mind gets agitated because of the opportunities for sense gratification. Dukheshu anudvignamana, sukheshu vigadispiraha. So one must understand that I am in a spiritually diseased condition of life. So till the time I become completely free from all this disease, uh, so these agitation of mind, disturbances of mind will must come. But I am a patient. I have taken admission into a spiritual hospital, and doctor has prescribed me the perfect medicine. Chanting of the holy name of Krishna, serving Krishna, hearing about Krishna. So this is perfect medicine. So let me just do my duty. Let me just complete this task of taking the medicine on time properly. Uh, so so in this way, this is the meaning. So that one should not get disturbed by the disturbances of uh, the mind. Mind may get disturbed. So we should be knowing that mind will be disturbed. When miserable situation will come in our life, mind will be disturbed. When desires, the opportunities for sense gratification will come in our life, mind will get agitated. But a perfect patient or a spiritual aspirant, she must not act upon those disturbances. That means he should not get disturbed by the disturbances of this mind and senses. And in this way, when such a transcendental, such a sadhaka, he goes on executing his spiritual duties without getting disturbed by the disturbances of the mind. So eventually, over the period of time, as soon as the treatment is over, his heart gets cleansed of all material unwanted things. Then, without getting disturbed, he will just keep on meditating upon Krishna, serving Krishna blissfully. Uh, so at present, we have to take the medicine. We are supposed to, rather, we are supposed to we are supposed to chant Hare Krishna. We are supposed to hear about Krishna. We are supposed to serve Krishna. We are supposed to strictly follow four reality principles, understanding very well that this is a bitter medicine for me. It's a kind of austerity. I must do it in order to become free from this disease condition of life. And the same activity, when one is cleansed of all material anarthas, unwanted things, these things will become relishable. One can release these things. Uh, one will not get agitated, one will not get disturbed. The same kind of miseries which come right now in our life and which distracts us, which deviates us completely, disturbs the mind. Uh, so if we just can maintain the attitude of not getting disturbed by the disturbances of the mind because of any miserable situation in our life, not getting agitated because of the agitation of mind. Uh, uh, taking place because of the desire for sense gratification and opportunities for sense gratification. If one can just become fixed up in this attitude, uh, then gradually you must understand the time will come uh, slowly. First of all, you will experience the same kind of these miseries, the same kind of desires for sense gratification, agitating situation are no longer as much effective as it was earlier. That means there will be advancement. Uh, there will be advancement. Uh, and eventually, when one's heart is completely cleansed, and how much time it will take to cleanse the heart completely, that depends upon the sincerity and intensity of the patient or sadhak. The more one becomes sincere and and intense in his sadhana, the faster will be the recovery of the heart from all kinds of unwanted anarthas, and the faster will be his experience of not getting disturbed by the disturbing situation of a life. His mind also will become calm and peaceful and blissful in all the situation. These things you can experience and you will experience. Any of you who just stick to the path of Krishna consciousness very strictly. So over the period of few years also, within few years also one can experience, or at least in one lifetime, that is for sure, guaranteed. Srila Prabhupada has guaranteed this. Srila Prabhupada has guaranteed that if somebody follows strictly four regulative principles and chants 16 rounds minimum, 16 good rounds, of course, not just counting. So if somebody is chanting 16 good rounds minimum and following four regulative principles strictly, so in this one lifetime, he can situate himself at the perfect stage of self-realization, and he can be situated in pure Krishna consciousness and can go back home, back to God. That is guaranteed. There is no doubt about it. But if somebody wants to speed up the process, then he must increase the intensity and quantity. You increase your chanting, you increase your services, you become more strict in following four relative principles. As strict as a human being can, you can, that is possible. You cannot just say that, oh, this is not possible. If somebody says this is not possible, that means he doesn't desire to be as strict as possible. So that's all right, okay. But at least follow strictly, grossly, four related principles and chant 16 rounds. But anything is possible. There are devotees in ISKCON who are much more intense and serious and sincere in their devotional service, what we are. So if they can be so why can't we? We can also do. They also have. There are devotees who are chanting every day more than 64 rounds, 108 rounds, 128 rounds, who are following four regulative principles very strictly, who are just dedicating everything to Krishna's service. So they also have two hands, two legs, two eyes, two ears, one mouth, the same material body, that same time, 24 hours. They are also getting. So if they can do, why can't we do? We can also do. It just requires a little sincerity and seriousness and desire, lolyam, intense desire. If somebody has intense desire, who can stop him? Suppose right now it's 7:50 timing. If I decide, oh, I could not chant properly today, I must complete my 16 rounds again. If I take this beat back, and if I have decided, oh, I will chant one again 16 rounds. And start chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Who is stopping? 7:50, you can go on chanting. 10 o'clock, complete another 16 round. Who is stopping? Yes, can anybody tell who is stopping? Somebody will say, "Oh, I have so many words, so many things to do." So that you have created. That is not required. We have unnecessary created according to our desire, our priority, responsibility, known as in the name of responsibility. It is known as responsibility. Uh, don't you think it is like being controlled, like jailed, rather than being free by following so many rules? Arey, regulative principles of freedom. Now, one devotee is asking this question. If you follow the rules, so many rules strictly, very strictly, so don't you think it is being like controlled, like jailed? You should be intelligent enough to understand this thing. It is not expected from a devotee who 2 3 years asking such question. Who is independent? Who is independent? Just tell who is independent. So those who are rebelling against the laws of God, they are being harassed, they are controlled, they are jailed. Uh, this is nonsense to think that if I follow rules and regulations of bhakti strictly, I am losing my independence. Are Baba, whether are you independent right now? You have full freedom. Okay, take all the freedom, do all nonsense, whatever you want. Are you independent? No, you are fully controlled, fully under control of mind and senses. You don't know, you don't, can't you realize this thing? That if you do not follow the regulatory principles and if you act whimsically, if you act whatever mind tells you to act, that means you are under full control of the mind. But when you control through rules and regulations, then you are controller. Then you are independent. Then you can independently control your mind. Oh, nonsense mind. You cannot do this. I cannot allow you to act like this. So this is independence. Huh? This is known as regulative principles for freedom. So when you follow rules and regulations, then actually you become independent. You become controller. You become boss, swami. That's why those who are able to control their mind and senses, they are known as Goswami or Swami. And those who cannot control their mind and senses, they are known as Godas, Das, within the bars of mind. So now you decide what you want. Just like a citizen, citizen of any country, if they follow the rules and regulations of the government, they are free, they are independent, they can move anywhere, they can go anywhere. But if the citizens think that, oh, uh, why should I follow so many rules and regulations? I'm independent. I'm independent citizen of independent country. And then when he drives the vehicle and he doesn't follow the traffic rules, then what will happen? He will be put into the bars and he will be fined. His license will be cancelled. So rather that time you become fully dependent. Anyway, asking this question you distracted us. This was so responsible in the name of responsible. But what point? What was the point I was discussing? I forgot. Anyway, so the important point is that one can decide. One should fix. One should make spiritual goals in their life, in his life, and then one can decide to do how to become free from the disturbing situation. So one will accept the treatment, a medicine, in order to become free from the disease of mind. The disease of mind is the greatest disease of mind is that mind wants sense gratification, desires for sense gratification, desire to keep the material attachments within the mind. This is the greatest disease. And because of this only, we become agitated, we become disturbed by miserable situation, dukkhesu anudvignamana. We become agitated because of sukhesu vigata ispraha, sukhesu ispriha, dukkhesu udvignamana, sukhesu ispriha. Ispriha means more and more hankering to get to enjoy sense gratification. And udvignamana means disturbed because of some distressful condition, mentally disturbed, lamenting, fearful, uh, and anxiety. All these things come. Why? Because the mind is in disease condition of life. So transcendently, the sadhaka, who is practicing Krishna consciousness, he must always remember that whatever state of my mind is, this is because of disease condition of mind. So my duty is to cure this mind, cure the disease of the mind. And what is the solution? The solution is the more intense I should become in my bhajan, the more intense I should become in serving Krishna, the more intense and more sincere I should become uh, in dedicating my life to Krishna. So in this way, one can come gradually to that perfect stage of this Krishna consciousness, Prasit Pragya. So one has to go through this process. Suppose because of disturbances of the mind or agitation of mind, you leave the process, you leave the medicine. What will happen? The disease will increase. Ultimately, you have to go through that. Rather, the more you will have to put more endeavor if you neglect. Just like suppose a person who becomes diseased because of some normal viral infection or some normal infection, and so doctor gives him the course for 5 days or 7 days course, antibiotics and some other medicine. So but he neglects to take the medicine, he neglects to complete the course, then what will happen? The disease will become more serious, and then he may have to eventually get admitted into the hospital, and he may have to take the treatment for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, or 1 month. I have this experience for a small, just a viral infection. Uh, I neglected to complete the course, so then the disease became so severe that I had to get admitted into the hospital, and then it took almost 1 month to fully recover the disease. Similarly, if we, because of disturbances, because of agitation, and because of thinking, oh, these rules and regulations are too hard, I'm losing my independence, so because of any this nonsensical thought, if we neglect to follow the treatment, if we neglect the treatment, if we do not, if we compromise with the intensity or sincerity of our treatment, then uh, our disease will increase more and more, and this life will be wasted and again come back, take birth again and again and again. And you have to go through this process. It's not that you neglect now, next birth you will come, you will become a Param Vaishnava. This cleansing stage one has to cross. And this is the longest duration of, and the most miserable, or not just miserable, we should not say miserable. This is the most austere kind of stage, cleansing of heart, anartha nivritti. Anartha nivritti stage is very painful, especially in the beginning. If somebody has cleansed almost more than 50, 60, 70% of his heart, then it becomes smooth and easy. But especially in the beginning, it is very painful. So, one who is determined and serious, he should become intense and sincere and serious to take this rigorous treatment and undergo this treatment of intensely chanting the holy name of Krishna, serving Krishna, dedicating one's words, body, and mind in the service of Krishna. So then definitely one will become free from this disease. Okay. So we'll stop here. Thank you very much. Tomorrow also we'll discuss more about this. So if you have any questions, you can ask. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.